Morning, everyone.
You're live.
Morning.
Welcome. Steve,
Good morning.
Michael, Laurie, Justin, and team. Lewis is excused. Cecily, I heard you earlier as well. I'm pleased to share this cold January edition of the Finance Committee of the New York Power Authority and New York State Canal Corporation. So just welcome to my fellow committee members. Justin and his Adam and the team are fully assembled in White Plains and points beyond. And as always, this meeting has been duly noticed as required by open meetings law, and hence I'm pleased to call the meeting to order. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to review the agenda this morning, rather brief, and unless anyone has thoughts or ideas on amendments to that agenda, I'd ask for a motion to adopt it as presented.
So moved.
Thanks, B. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Laurie, Michael, it sounded like all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Our contractors list, I saw emails flying around. It appears everyone had a good chance to look at those and ensure they either didn't have or otherwise advised Karen of any conflicts. As I always say, any late-breaking changes or developments, please ensure Karen and her team are updated. Our agenda is rather limited today. We've got three or four presentations. Adam will update us on final outcomes of 2025. Tim Poe is here with us. Timothy Poe is here with us in Buffalo. He will present the Massena transmission life extension proposal. Joe Dodd is somewhere. Will talk to us about Joe Dodd's next to be in snowy Syracuse. He'll present Madison River Reservoir dam project to support a weak link in our canal infrastructure. And then Bleckman will close with a presentation on workforce development or request for additional funding for workforce development. So should be an efficient and action-packed 45, 60 minutes as always. So with that, Adam, you've been telling us all year long we were going to have a strong finish to the year. It looked like you and the team were able to get it over the finish line as expected. Please go ahead and recap it for us.
Sure. Good morning, Chairman and other trustees and NYPA staff, members of the public. Is you correct, Chairman, that we ended up landing as of where we sit now at.
Adam, are you in hiding this morning? Where are you? Were you in a secret location? What is that?
No, I'm remote. We were down at the.
I can see you're remote. I didn't know if you were on a secret mission or what was going on there.
No, we were at a LPC meeting, and out of abundance of caution, bumped the flight to Tuesday in case we got canceled on Monday.
So that means you're someplace warm?
Not really. I'm down in New Orleans, which is normally warmer, but not so warm today.
All right, you got that blurry background, so I was getting a little nervous. I thought you were sequestered somewhere. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to break your rhythm. I know you got a great story to tell. Go to it. Apologies.
Well, I mean, it's the story we told all year, right? That revenues came in a lot stronger, notably St. Lawrence, BG. Prices generally went higher. Overall market with favorable hedge settlements, and the peaker plants did slightly better than budget as well. On the expense side, expenses on the O&M really came in right on target, which is a good thing. No real surprises there. And overall, we hit the number that we've been forecasting and communicating over the last several months, probably since the summer. We came in at $281 million, which is $116 million above budget. So, and that, as you know, rolled into some of that into the next 4-year financial plan as we see a good portion of the underlying trends continuing in the future. So all good story there. If there's any questions?
So no surprises as anticipated, and we're off to a start that's consistent with what you're expecting as well, right?
That's correct. I think we'll see when it comes time for January that we'll have a strong month given where prices are going based on the weather being colder than normal and prices being higher. There's been a spike in natural gas prices. It's over $4.50. So, we're going to see a strong January, I'm sure.
Yeah, in terms of the cold and the impact on the system, Justin, you and I had a little exchange there yesterday. Saw some, narrative in the media. Other systems under stress and strain were holding up well throughout this cold snap.
We are. I mean, it's not over, but as we sit here today, I think we're well positioned. Margins are tight, but we have a team that's been communicating with other utilities and other RTOs and coordinating on making sure there's adequate supply. So we're in a good position, but when the cold lasts, a week or more, it strains the system.
But we're weathering the strain, and you anticipate us being able to do so. Okay, great.
We are. Yeah, I mean, it just highlights, there's a lot of sort of interregional transfers of power when one part of the country is stressed. They call on imports from other areas, which then makes those imports less available to us. So it's similar to we've experienced it a couple times in recent years, and there's a lot of attention being given to it. But we're in good position here at NYPA with our assets and our state's generation supply.
Great. And Joe, sites, facilities, everything's good. Team's holding up well.
Yeah, our contributor, we operate a little bit differently in the cold weather, especially down in the southeast region, where we have operational floors where heating for our natural gas for heating gets a priority. So our units run on a dual fuel system, so we're on fuel. So that creates just a different operating scenario where our team's accustomed to, where they're taking fuel deliveries and operating those units a little bit differently. But all our units are available. A couple minor weather-related small blips, but nothing the team couldn't recover from quickly.
Okay, great. All right, Adam, anything to add in closing or?
Not much. And we just showed here that the canal is also coming in, doing better than budget. They had some, expenses came in lower. Some of that had to do with the OPEB expense that came in, lower than budget. It was a net positive, and they had some revenues come in, some grant money and FEMA money from, if you can believe it or not, Hurricane Irene. A long time in coming, but at least we were able to recover some money from that event. So it was all good. So yeah, really nothing more to say other than, we're off to a good start and well positioned to meet all of our goals for the 2026 year.
Excuse me, that slide well depicts, if you back up to it, well depicts the investment that we have been and continue to make in canals. You couple it with the capital spend, and you can readily see what is not a revenue generating business unit, the level of investment that we're making to ensure the efficient and effective execution of operations there. So one that we've continued to step up and step into. So well done, team. All right. Well, again, Adam and team, great job getting us over the finish line. And always tough to follow a year like that. But no, you, Justin, and everyone is ready to do so, and we'll execute the 26 plan. So Thank you for another job. Very, very well done.
Thank
Unless
you.
there's any questions for Adam? Okay. Tim and his brother Timothy Poe are up next with the Massena Transmission Life Extension and Modernization presentation. Tim, oh, you're on camera? You can see? Okay, good. You're good. All right. Let it rip.
Thank you, Chairman, and good morning. I'm here today to present a capital expenditure authorization request for the Massena Transmission Life Extension Modernization Project, or I'll go by TLM for the rest of this presentation. Today, we are requesting that the Finance Committee recommend the approval of an additional expenditure in the amount of $21.8 million to the Board of Trustees for continued design and construction of the Massena TLM project. To date, the trustees have approved capital expenditures in the amount of $45 million, bringing the total project estimate to completion to $66.8 million with this additional request. The project falls under NYPA's TLM program, which is a multi-year program that aims to maintain availability, reliability, and regulatory compliance of transmission assets in Western, Central, and Northern regions. The purpose of the Massena substation is to provide an interconnection point between the New York Power Authority and Hydro-Quebec to transmit 765 kV power from Quebec to Marcy, New York. The substation also provides an interconnection point to the St. Lawrence Power Plant. The Massena TLM project consists of replacement of 9 765 kV breakers and the station service switchgear equipment. In 2017, the trustees approved the capital funding for the project, with construction commencing in 2019. By the end of 2024, 5 of the 9 breakers were successfully replaced under an EPC contract. The initial forecast aimed for project completion by 2026. However, in 2023, due to portfolio prioritization efforts, the project was deferred for at least 3 years. This deferral has consequently revised the substantial completion timeline to at least 2030. At the time of deferral, the EPC contractor was directed to complete the remaining breaker designs to be used in a future RFP for construction services, which was mini bid late 2025. Additionally, the contractor was requested to progress the station service design to 30%, which is planned to be rebid at a later time in an EPC delivery model. At this time, we are requesting the approval of an additional $21.8 million capital expenditure for the increased construction costs, additional internal labor associated with the 4-year schedule extension, which is inclusive of PM, CM, engineering, and site labor, contingency, and additional indirect overhead. Thank you. I'll take any questions.
So this is to fund the remainder of the project for the next 4 years,
Correct.
5 years. And you're asking for full funding versus incremental funding as we go because.
Correct. This is for full funding. This will also support the award of that mini bid that I mentioned for the construction services.
Okay, so you're going to award a bid and you need the full funding approval to garner that. Okay. And the project's otherwise progressing. You said it was deferred or postponed for some fancy project prioritization reason?
Correct.
I mean, the code for something must have happened.
Just internal prioritization of our capital portfolio. It was deferred. So at that time, the project was, I'll say canceled the EPC contract and then picked up just last year.
Okay. Questions for Tim? I mean, there's nothing atypical, nothing unusual here.
No.
The bidding process, I mean, how competitive is the bidding process? Was it unique? Or is this sole source or what have we got here?
We had 2 bidders for the mini bid and both were very competitive within just a handful percent.
Okay. So we did have competitive bids here. All right. Sorry, B, go ahead.
And just curiosity, do we have to worry at all about our relationship with Canada and how we work through some of this project? Is there a need to be concerned there at all?
I would have to come back to you with that answer. I would say no from just the coordination of the outage planning that typically is conducted to plan the work out over the next 4 years.
Our experience in on the operating side, dealing with Ontario Power Gen, Hydro-Quebec, and other Canadian entities at the working level has not really been impacted by some of the other concerns that have been going on. So
Okay.
in terms of scheduling outages and things like that, system reliability, plus we're customers of each other, so there's a lot of coordination that goes on with those entities as well. So in terms of the, I think the nature of the question at the working level, we're not seeing the impacts of that.
Great, thank you.
And I would just add to that. I mean, we have a number of work streams in flight with both OPG and Hydro-Quebec, and you know, all is going sort of according to plan, and no disruptions due to any kind of, you know, geopolitical currents or anything.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, we just had that event with them a month or so ago. And everyone was in very good spirits. A nice cookie exchange. There's a lot of good, you know, good vibe in the room. So I think we're in good shape. So,
Yep.
well,
Agreed.
unless there's any other questions, I'd be happy to entertain a motion in support of Tim's recommendation for completion of the TLM project.
So moved.
Thanks, V. Have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Cecily. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. Dennis, are you out there?
I don't think we have Dennis.
Oh,
His
okay.
his camera shows just a chair.
Oh, all right. Oh, we won't editorialize on that then. Okay. All right, next up. Is it Joe or Joseph? You're listed both ways in my program. Do you prefer Joseph or Joe?
Joe's fine. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
All right. Next up is Joe Dodd, Senior Project Manager, who will talk to us about the Madison Reservoir Dam Rehab project. The floor is yours, Joe.
Thank you, Chairman, and good morning, trustees, colleagues, and members of the public. My name is Joe Dodd. I'm a project engineer with Project Delivery. This morning, I'm here to present the award for a single construction contract for the rehabilitation of Madison Reservoir Dam for the New York State Canal Corporation. We are requesting that the Finance Committee recommend approval to award a 4-year contract to Kubricki Joint Lime LLC of Wilton, New York, in the amount of $46.6 million, with a contingency amount of $5.6 million to account for potential unforeseen site conditions, for a total or maximum commitment of $52.2 million. Some background: Madison Reservoir Dam is nearly 200 years old. It was constructed in 1836. It was originally constructed as a supply reservoir for the Shenango Canal, which connected to the Erie Canal in Utica and ran all the way to Binghamton. The dam and reservoir no longer serve the canal, but the reservoir provides many recreational opportunities and other benefits to the surrounding community. In terms of risk exposure, Madison Reservoir Dam, as it was alluded to earlier, represents one of our highest risk assets due to its age and condition and the consequences of an unlikely failure. The dam is just upstream of the village of Hamilton and also Colgate University. The dam is a large earthen embankment dam. It's classified as a Class C or high hazard dam. From New York State DEC's most recent inspection, they've rated the dam as unsound, deficiencies recognized. The scope or improvements of the project, it really is comprehensive. All aspects and areas of the dam will be rehabilitated to a modern standard in line with DEC's guidelines. And the dam, you know, the goal here is to bring it to a state of good repair. Some major improvements or work items of the project include demolition of the existing spillway, construction of a new concrete spillway with much greater capacity, new low-level outlet works, and significant earthwork to the dam's embankments. So a lot of concrete work, over 10,000 yards of concrete, and a lot of earthwork, tens of thousands of yards of moving material around the site. So this is a major civil construction project. It's a phase project and multi-year project. The award and the start of construction for this project, I also know too, it marks a major step in the overall canal's revitalization effort, as it's one of the first major projects to kick off. So for the selection of this contract and the procurement, an RFP, or request for proposal, was issued in July of 2025. We had a good response. We received 4 proposals in October, and they were reviewed by a cross-functional committee. So the proposals were evaluated based on cost, approach, capabilities and experience, qualifications, technical and commercial exceptions, quality assurance, safety, compliance, and sustainability. So following an extensive evaluation process, the committee recommends award to Kubricki Joint Line. So thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to put this in front of you all and move the project forward. Happy to take any questions.
So 90 years old and we got to fix it already. Joe,
190.
190, excuse me, my bad. They just don't build them like that.
No, they don't.
That's really, it's disappointing. It's really just, hope we caught that in due diligence. We did. Okay, good.
Took us a few years.
I hope we got this fully depreciated, Adam. So, yeah, I know we've talked about exposures and risk mitigation when it comes to canals assets, and I know you guys have talked about this being at the top of the list. So, yeah, of the highest priority for sure. I'm pleased that you're able to get multiple bids on the project. You cast a really wide net, but at least you got 4 good proposals. So that's always a positive from my standpoint. And you feel as though you're getting obviously what you want at a fair price then.
We do. Yeah, the Kubricki's bid was in line with the estimate. It was also the lowest bid, and we had a pretty tight bid range. So I think we feel confident in the number here.
Do you have any experience with Kubricki?
We do. Yeah, it's a great question. Kubricki's under D.A. Collins. D.A. Collins has done a lot of work for canals over the years, some larger and some smaller contracts. They've also held canals on-demand contract before as well. So we're very familiar with them.
And what's the timeline to complete, Joe?
Sure. So we're on track to kick off construction this spring in 2 to 3 months. Really major work occurs this year and next year. They'll be wrapping up likely in 2028. When there's somewhat of a performance period or commissioning period from 2028 to 2029.
And does this impact utilization of the canals in any way?
So this reservoir, it's off the Barge Canal, it's off the Erie Canal proper. The reservoir, it is used quite widely by the community out in Hamilton. To do the work safely and efficiently, we're going to have to lower the reservoir 10 feet for 2 years. So we've gotten out in front of the public quite a bit to talk about that impact. But I'm happy to say they're still going to be able to use the reservoir. There certainly will be impacts with somewhat of a lower pool level and a lot more shoreline or shore, but the reservoirs will still be used. Highlight too, we're also working with DEC. They have a boat launch on the reservoir. We're going to temporarily extend that so people can still launch their boats and enjoy the reservoir.
Okay. So we're doing everything we can to minimize the disruption and inconvenience. On the other hand, we can't afford to further delay. So, okay. Any other questions for Joe? All right, I'd ask for a motion to adopt the recommendation and proposal as presented.
So moved.
Thanks, Laurie. I have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Michael B. Cecily. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. That's the heavy lifting for the morning in terms of significant investments in construction project. That said, our last item is always one of our favorites in workforce development. Sandra, we have more opportunities to further engage our community and create opportunities for improving their well-being. Take us through it.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Chairman, trustees, NYPA colleagues, and the public. I'm here today to request the approval of $4 million in funding in response to our second application cycle of this year's Clean Energy Workforce Training Request for application. Before I review the awards, I just wanted to mention that our updated webpage is now live. We have success stories, actual student photos, clickable links for those who want to learn about the trainings we support, as well as for those who would like to apply for funding. There's also links to all the providers that we're working with, and it's really come a long way, and a special thanks to Charles's team for getting that together. We also have an internal PowerNet page now for workforce development, so really exciting. On to the awards. To date, this fiscal year that started on April 1 of 2025, we have obligated $16 million for clean energy workforce training initiatives. $12 million was awarded to the Department of Labor, and at last board meeting, you approved $4 million for 6 projects. The second application cycle of our RFA opened on November 1 and closed on November 28 of 2025. We received a really robust response with a total of 28 applications. The process for evaluation was consistent with the first cycle, and the evaluation committee consisted of a NYPA representative from environmental justice, corporate strategy, economic development, community and government affairs, and workforce development. Applications were evaluated on their proposed scope of work, training schedule, budget, organizational profile, and key personnel, and their focus on DAC and priority populations, as well as job placement and MWBE utilization. Of the 28 applications, 5 entities were organizations that have received funding in year 1. They are still being considered, but we're holding them as we want to review more data and their current funded programs. 4 applications did not meet the requirements in relation to proposed scope of work, and I'm presenting 7 programs today. The remaining 12 applicants, the evaluation committee is still working on further review, setting up interviews regarding budgets and scope of work, and if they're deemed qualified or need revisions, they'll be considered for the third and last cycle of awards for this fiscal year. So today I'm requesting a total award amount of $4 million for 7 projects. An award in the amount of $200,000 is requested for Building Skills New York. Building Skills New York is a not-for-profit organization located in Midtown East and conducts training in Crotona Park East, Elmhurst, Jamaica, Sunset Park, and East New York. Building Skills New York is dedicated to developing a skilled workforce in which local residents play an active role in shaping their communities. The funds will support 2 cohorts of a total of 30 students in their Construction Career Accelerator Program. The Accelerator Program provides advanced training in carpentry, electrical, and plumbing using the NCCER, which is the National Center for Construction, Education, and Research curriculum. Students receive training and certification in the NCCER core, general carpentry, and your role in the green environment, as well as a foundations class, which is designed by Building Skills New York. It's a module that equips participants with in-demand safety credentials and workshops covering job readiness and financial literacy. They have a network of over 100 developers, contractors, and subcontractors to place graduates in careers. An award in the amount of $300,000 is requested for the City College of New York. The Charles B. Rangel Infrastructure Workforce Initiative is a workforce development program at the City College of New York that delivers technical training preparing low-income, unemployed, and underemployed New Yorkers for careers in infrastructure, clean energy, and environmental remediation. The funds will support the development and launch of a pilot EV charging infrastructure operations and maintenance training program. The 150-hour curriculum will train 30 participants and includes OSHA 30, New York City Department of Buildings 10-hour site safety training, electrical fundamentals, electric vehicle charging equipment and electric vehicle supply equipment, O&M instruction, vendor-specific models, job readiness workshops, and the SAE EVSE technician certification exam preparation and testing. To support participation and completion, CCNY will also provide transportation assistance, stipends for graduates, and connections to supportive services. An award in the amount of $635,000 is requested for LIUNA Local 1822 in the North Country, the Laborers International Union of North America. LIUNA members are skilled and experienced union workforce trained to work safely in the construction and energy industries. The funds will support the launch of the Build and Beyond North Country pre-apprenticeship program. This is based on successful models in other parts of the state. We previously funded the LIUNA pre-apprenticeship programming in the Capital Region, Hudson Valley, and the Buffalo with great success. Actually, 3 of the pre-apprentices that graduated from the Buffalo program are now apprentices working on the new Bills Stadium. This program will target Clinton, Essex, Franklin, Hamilton, Jefferson, Lewis, and St. Lawrence counties. It's a 190-hour program that will train 20 students using the NAB2, which is the North American Building Trades Union Multi-Craft Core Curriculum, MC3. It includes hands-on training, tools, stipends, career development classes, and wraparound and support services. An award in the amount of $260,000 is requested for the New York City District Council of Carpenters Training Center. The New York City District Council of Carpenters Training Center is a trade school that offers comprehensive apprenticeship programs in various carpentry trades. They were a recipient of funding in the first tranche of funding in our last fiscal year. We provided an award of $182,000 for training of 150 apprentices, and they've successfully trained more than the number of apprentices expected. The funds will support the advanced training for 175 apprentices in specialties focusing on energy efficiency and clean technology projects, especially in offshore wind, solar, and geothermal. An award in the amount of $1.4 million is requested for the Knowledge House and the Bronx Green Job Center. The Knowledge House was established in 2014 and provides high-tech training to students from underserved communities with roots in the South Bronx. The Bronx Green Job Center is a new Fordham University-led 12,000 square foot LEED Gold design training facility launching this year that will serve as a regional hub for clean energy workforce development. The funds will support training of 250 students in solar photovoltaics and energy efficiency, EV charger installation and maintenance. Technical training and employer partners for the initiative include the Bronx Community College, Solar One, Wildan Energy Solutions, New York Solar Energy Industries, Tesla, Accord Power, Con Ed, and the MTA. Additionally, community-based and public sector partners will strengthen referral pipelines and expand access for priority populations. The Knowledge House will deliver structured digital skills and durable skills, a sequence that will operate in parallel with the technical training, preparing participants for the digital, analytical, and professional demands of the clean energy workforce. The program also includes wraparound and support services, including workforce readiness, childcare, transportation, legal aid referrals, multilingual advising, and disability services. Next, an award in the amount of $740,000 is requested for Welder Underground. Welder Underground is a Brooklyn-based 501c3 nonprofit earn while you learn program that trains in welding and metal fabrication. The funds will support 2 cohorts for a total of 24 individuals from DAC communities in a 3.5-month training on MIG, TIG, and stick welding, blueprint reading, CNC machinery, metal fabrication, and CAD and SolidWorks. The training also includes safety education, including OSHA 30 and SST 10 training. Students receive a stipend of $600 per week. They have individual and group coaching and an intensive personalized career navigation service. The program actually has a track record of 100% job placement within 7 weeks of completion of the program. And an award in the amount of $465,000 is requested for the Workers' Justice Project. The Workers' Justice Project is a Brooklyn-based community-led worker center founded in 2010 to improve working conditions for low-wage immigrant workers across New York City. The clean mobility transition faces a critical talent gap in the safe operation, maintenance, and repair of e-micro-mobility systems, including e-bikes, lithium-ion batteries, UL-certified charging cabinets, and small electric drive systems. The city lacks trained technicians who understand the battery diagnostics, charger repair, thermal runaway prevention, and FDNY compliant safety protocols. The funds will support 2 training tracks that bring structured, accessible, community-based education to a workforce that's currently been excluded from it. Track 1 will address clean mobility, safety, and battery fundamentals, including training on safety and battery handling for 260 workers. And track 2 is an e-mobility technician training, a comprehensive 68-hour technical training for 80 workers, preparing them for maintenance roles in the e-mobility sector. The new City Hall Deliveries Hub that's located in Lower Manhattan will serve as the program's hands-on training lab, allowing trainees to practice with UL certified charging cabinets and diagnostics tools in a real operational environment. And the instruction will be offered in English, Spanish, and French. If these 7 projects are recommended for approval, we will be at a total of $20 million in clean energy training programs awarded thus far for the 25-26 fiscal year. Thank you. I'll take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Sandra.
I know that was a lot.
Yeah, another exciting combination of investments for us. I know we always talk about what are the results and outcomes that we've seen from the prior investments. I'm not sure what information you have or what information you can share as I'm listening to you. So it's 4 million, and I'm trying to mentally do the math on how many positions we're funding. I'd be curious to see some kind of historical recap. We've funded X million dollars, which was intended to support X hundred or X thousand positions. I don't know what the graduation or successful completion rate was. I don't know what the employment rate was for those people. I don't know what the average, wage that they're earning. And so our X million investment ultimately created, X million of economic impact. And we can apply a multiplier to that. I mean, to me, it would be good to see some kind of running evaluation of the return on our investment in terms of retention rate, graduation rate, employment rate, wages earned, et cetera. So I don't know what information we have, what information we ask for from these programs, but if you could start to provide us with some kind of information along those lines, I think that would be helpful.
Absolutely. They report out to me every 6 months. And so I also meet with them on a quarterly basis. So I can put everything in a chart. I will say that within the first 6 months, there were almost 2,000 students that were trained. They came from, students were 65% from DAC communities, so over our 40% target. And about, I would say half of them are incumbent workers that were being upskilled, and the other half were placed in full-time employment or paid internships. So I have some data on some of the success stories and some of the wages, but I can put it all together for next meeting in a chart that you can kind of see the progress.
Yeah, it would just be good if we had
probably be at 1 year then.
Yeah, a good rolling evaluation of the quality of the work, what programs are working, what aren't, where we're optimizing, maximizing, our investment, et cetera. So yeah, if you could, come up with something that, a dashboard of sorts that you could just regularly update and that we could review in connection with new awards. We're evaluating and monitoring the impact of the prior awards.
Absolutely. I've started a dashboard for their 6-month reporting where I kind of hit the highlights, because it is, there's 30 organizations. So I want to make it easy for you to read as well. So I designed a dashboard that I send to them also with their 6-month report. So it's the high level number of students trained, retention, job salaries, things of that nature. So I can put that together for the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. Could I ask for a geographic map as well that shows where our programs are?
Absolutely.
I lose track.
That is in the works too.
And then I guess lessons learned, right? And are we going to be moving into doing similar work around nuclear? And if so, what's the timeline for that?
So we're still working on the timeline. I'm actually meeting with our new SVP this week to discuss that as we roll out. He started, I think, 2 weeks ago now. And so, we're talking about how that rollout will look, especially with the new directives from the governor, as far as 5 gigawatts and how, where we fit into the picture and making sure that our, that we're not training too fast and too soon, but at the same time working, on a good timeline.
Well, a plan is, it gives us an opportunity to build the relationships we might need in the community surrounding where these plants are going to go to just build into. You know what I mean? So the timeline to me is really important, and where these facilities are going to be, because that will determine where the training should be as well. Or a
Absolutely.
priority.
Once the sites are selected, that will give us a better idea too of where we need to focus as far as skills and what's available and what the geographic area looks like as far as training.
Thank you.
I support the chair's request for some more information about how this is all working, how many people are impacted. I appreciate that, John. I think it's really important that we see the impact of what we're doing. And as B sort of noted, but didn't outright note, like, what are our lessons learned? Are there projects that we've supported that haven't been what we'd hoped, and why, and what we're learning from that and moving forward? So I appreciate that, Chair, that you're asking for some additional, more details about the impact of this program now that we're more than a year into it. Thank you.
Yeah. And the auditor in me, Sandra, says maybe, coordinate with internal audit and, have them, do some work to just, validate and affirm. I mean, obviously, we don't want to be the unintended victim here. So we're doing a lot of good things and affecting a lot of change. So just want to ensure we're not only monitoring, but, scrutinizing our investment. So, okay.
You read internal audits. You read internal audits mine. I'm actually, we started that process and we have a meeting today to go over all the documents. And so that should be completed by the end of my fiscal year. So
Yes.
by April.
Yes, Chairman, we just kicked off an audit looking
Okay,
at the
great.
program. So we'll present the results as they become available.
Yes, I'm reaching out and connecting with these individual programs. I'm not concerned about the process on our end. I just want to ensure, we're have the ability to reach into these organizations and get comfortable with their reporting and their accounting. Oftentimes, they're challenged with, their own record keeping and the like. So let's, just take a good give it a good scrub. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Alvin. Appreciate that. Any other thoughts or questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion to recommend this to full board for adoption. B, you're up.
So moved.
Thanks, B. A second. Michael, I saw you clicking in. You're ready to go. I like it.
So move.
Second. Michael,
Everything.
unless there's any other questions, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Thank you very much, Sandra. We look forward to additional information. All right. Otherwise, keep up the good work. We're making a real difference, changing lives. So very, very, very well done. That moves us to our consent agenda, which was limited to some prior meetings. So if I could, assuming everyone did their homework and scoured those minutes, unless you have any thoughts or recommendations. B, I'd ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. And Michael, I'd ask for a second. Thank you very much. Cecily, are you in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Laurie, you still
Aye.
with us?
Aye.
Aye, Laura, all right, thank you very much. Motion is passed. Unless there's any other matters to come before us, that concludes our agenda today. I thank everyone for attending and participating in a very efficient flow of activity this morning. As you're well aware, we'll all be together in White Plains a week from, well, what's today? Today's Tuesday, a week from today. Yeah, a week from today, as we wrap up another month and kick off February. So we will be gathered next week in White Plains. Look forward to seeing everyone there and picking up these items as part of our board agenda. And with that, I'm pleased to indicate that this Joint Finance Committee is coming to a close. We've started your day at a real peak, and I hope you can build on the success of the last 45 minutes over the balance of your day. With that, I'd ask for a motion to close the meeting.
Almost.
Who was that? That was out of nowhere. Who's that?
That was me, Cecily.
All right, Cecily, thanks for coming through for me. Laurie, second on the close. Thank you very much. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? Motion carried. Our meeting is closed. Thank you very much, everyone. Stay warm and look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.